And here we have Netflix. We didn't set up a squeeze line because it wasn't necessary. However, you can see that it has moved below the 120 moving average. Let me see if I can pull it up. There we go. This indicates that it could very well go and change its direction of the trend. I have put in a hedge trade on this in case it drops any lower due to the elections. I will be keeping an eye out on this, as the trade still does look fairly strong. Let's see if we can see any strong lines here that we're still watching. Oops, I don't need this at this point. Jump to a higher time zone, see if there's anything interesting happening. The reason I moved it is because the higher the time zone, the stronger the actual resistance level would be. Okay, we might see a bounce on that. Depending on how the market reacts to the election, we should see a bounce. If we have a positive reaction, it could bounce and climb from that. If we have a negative reaction and it busts through that, we're going to see quite a big drop before anything starts happening again. And now we have Microsoft. What we're looking at here, quite simply, we can see it's dropped below our squeeze point, and that got my attention. The next thing that got my attention was a drop below the 120 moving average. This is a little bit of a worry, indicating that it could change trend quite heavily. To fight any loss on that, I've opened a hedge trade in the opposite direction, obviously, of what we are trading. This will help with any losses if we do see big movement downwards. We'll have to wait a little bit longer before we can see how far down this goes. Most of the movement downwards nowadays is just due to the elections happening in the US. So I'm hoping it will see probably the 50 mark before turning around, heading upwards. And now we have Amazon. As you can see, it has dropped below the squeeze line. Hasn't quite passed through the 120 mark yet, 120 moving average mark yet. There is a support line sitting on the 120 mark as well. If the market does drop below that point, I will be opening a hedge trade on it. At this point, I'm more interested to see if it bounces off that 120 moving average. The way the market's reacting to these elections, I wouldn't be surprised if it drops below it. But for now, we will just wait and see.